Hi everyone, I'm Jenna with Brown Dot Craft Company. Today's Sunday, June 29th, 2025, and we are here for Milo's Card Club. It's the first of Milo's Card Club, and the set that we're featuring tonight, or the suite I guess I should say, is the Beautiful Gallery Suite, and it's a mega suite. So I will show you the stamps and the dies that we use for class and everything that comes in your kit today. We're going to make 4 cards, and the 4 cards are similar, slightly different, but all of the DSP or the pattern paper is cut the same for each card. So hopefully we can kind of like assembly line style the cards, and I don't think they'll take too long to get together. So how class works for me is it's always free to watch, of course. If you want to craft along and you'd like to purchase a card kit, you can. Card kits can be purchased on my website if you want to use a credit card, or you can purchase them through me if you want to use Venmo or PayPal or any other form of payment besides a credit card. And what you get is a fun kit. I'll show you what a kit is. I have 1 kit left for tonight. The cost of class is $45. So how card kits or classes work for me is it always features 1 main bundle or suite, and anything that is die cut using that bundle or suite is part of your homework. So you will get scraps of paper in your kit in whatever color cardstock we use, and you get a guide, a printed guidebook, and it lists a supply list and instructions for each card, measurements, color photos, and then it lists a little bit of homework below each card. The homework takes like 10 or 15 minutes. I did the homework today. It took about 8 minutes. So it doesn't take too long, but I'm a one-woman operation over here. So having you die cut your things, not only one, is it easier, but 2, when I create, that's how I like to create. I like to sit down and die cut everything myself when I'm making cards. So that's how card kits are for me. This is not a showcase for July cards, but I do have some cards made for July and actually 1 class for August. So I will show you before we get started here. So I will get us down and get everything going here, and let me get comments up. Okay. All right, so today, before we get into today, let's talk about, well, the buy one, get one 50% off the suite product sale goes through tomorrow. So if there's something you want, you have 1 more day until midnight, I think, Mountain Time, to place that order. Let's get into, I'll show you July cards quick for one of the classes anyway. This is going to be class to go for July. And it's going to feature the Turtley Awesome, I think it's called Turtley Cute Sweet, I think. So it's a stamp and die bundle, and they're photopolymer, and then it has this really cute embossing folder. Turtle textures, I love it. It's, you know, turtle shell. It's really cute. And then in the suite are these hexagons, which I fell in love with the second I saw them. They're like almost like a cupped sequin, but they're really like substantial. They're not like a normal sequin that's kind of flimsy, and they're in really pretty colors. I love them. And then this, in my opinion, is the star of the show. This is the ribbon, and it is double-sided, so it's really pretty. And I am not a green person typically, but this is my kind of green. So if I'm gonna do green, this is definitely it. Okay, so these are all the blends we're gonna use, but here are the 4 cards. Now all 4 have a similar layout. It's a fun fold, but I have no idea what it's called. I have no idea what this fun fold is called, but they're in 4 different colorways with 4 different patterns and focal images. So here's the first card, and as you can see, we're going to do a little bit of stamping and coloring with our blends, and and this shape will be die cut for you because it does not come in the suite. These are the those big Celebrate tag dies. Party banner dies is what they are. So as you can see, I already took it out, but so that will come die cut for you. We'll do some ink blending on it. And then how this works is it opens like this, and this is the background here that is embossed, and you'll want the suite for this class because you'll want to emboss this, and you'll want to be able to stamp and die cut all of your little turtle friends, okay? And then you'll get ribbon to tie around here and to tie your bow. So you can tie the bow this way or you can tie the bow the other way. I have it tied the other way on this card. See how it's opposite? So this one the tails are light, and on this one the tails are dark, and then the bow is the alternating color. So that is the first card. A little, I did stamp this crooked on accident. So during class we will straighten the sweet friend stamp there. I'm not really sure how that happened, but you know. Okay, here's the second one. It's a cute little garden card. So we will ink blend onto this one. Again, you'll get this focal banner die in your kit, and you'll die cut and stamp and color all of these. Okay, isn't that one cute? So whereas this banner was white, this banner is Pool Party. Okay. Here's the third one. This one is a little birthday turtle on his back enjoying his ice cream. That's this one. I love the font on these stamps. They are so pretty. Okay, and the cute little birthday balloon. And then this one, because apparently if turtles can bake cake and eat ice cream, they can play a banjo too, right? So this one's also stamped on Pool Party. And hi, Joanne. This one's also stamped on Pool Party. And then you'll notice the difference. There's two turtles that we're going to stamp and color on white. And then there's two turtles that are stamped on green cardstock. And then we use some dies to put together their shell. So this one I think is my favorite card. And some music notes in there. Okay, so those are the 4 cards for Turtley Sweet. That's class to go. For July, I already have it scheduled out on YouTube. That's the best place to look for when classes is right on YouTube. And if you want card kits for this, they are $45. Thanks, Joanne. And I'll show you what the card kits look like in just a minute. I have the beautiful gallery card kit set out. They're all pretty much the same. You always get a full pack of embellishments, and you get ribbon to make your cards, and then a quarter pack of DSP, and all of your cardstock and your card bases and all of that. So, and a printed little guidebook. So that is class to go for July. Now, Milo's card club for July is Notes and Totes. I think that's Milo's card club for July. It is. And it's not done yet. So I actually was working on it today, but this is the Notes and Totes bundle, and this is what we're going to use for Milo's card club for July. And I'm hoping to have it finished, the cards finished tomorrow, and then I can do like an official showcase. But they don't have DSP that came out. This is just, the Notes and Totes is just a bundle. It's not a suite. So I went in my stash and I found 2 retired papers. Shades and Hues is really pretty. I've never used it. So we're going to use that. And then you guys might remember there was this fruit salad paper. I think it was back from February. So we're going to use this too. And I figure why not, right? Just because it's retired doesn't mean we can't use it. So if I do, I have a couple of packs. If I do run out, I will make substitutions and make sure that it goes with all of the cards and is super cute. So, but I can show you just briefly what I was thinking. Okay, so here's the patterns we're going to do on one card. Aren't those cute? I just absolutely love the watermelon paper in this. So we're going to do a watermelon type card. This one I thought was really pretty. That's like a sky and some water. And then we added in some purple. And then the fourth card, I think we're going to do a beach scene. So I have some of that white core paper, the white core cardstock from the scrapbooking line. So I think we'll use some of those and make like a beachy scene with a beach bag. And we might do our beach bag in white and stamp on it. I haven't decided yet. I haven't got that far. I had to set it aside for class today. So more to come on notes and totes. And then I actually have something done for August already. So August, Milo's Card Club is going to feature Impressions of Bloom. And I didn't get this set at first, and that's why we haven't done anything with it yet. But I fell in love with it. So, yeah. So much for holding out on buying everything. But I really like it. I like the way that they stamp. They stamp very pretty. It's very unique, the way that they stamp. And I also like the way that you die cut them. I like everything about them. So you like die cut the detail into the image. So like you die cut them together. Like you die cut the outline with the inside together. So, and there's pretty DSP. So that's what we will do for August. But then August class to go is going to feature Scenic Adventure. I have those cards ready already. So Scenic Adventure, this is what it looks like. And the stamps are pretty, but the dies are what are amazing. So the dies create a landscape for you. So you can die cut mountains. There's another smaller mountain in here. And then you can die cut the trees, and there's like a little bush and then flowers. And the water doesn't die cut, like it doesn't cut a piece out, it cuts into the paper. That's what all of these do. So they're really great for making like borders. And I'll show you just a minute. Oh, Jean just got the flower one too. I know, I got it on the sweet sale. So I got it with another sweet, but I can't remember what other sweet I got. So I do use mostly, I try to use the sentiments that come in the bundle that I feature. But for this class, I just couldn't come up with enough. So I ended up using also the right words and pattern of friendship, but don't feel like you have to have these. You can use any sentiments. We're gonna pair the cards with these embellishments. These are the transparent adhesive back dots. I don't remember if they're current. They might be last chance. I can't remember, but the greens look really good with the greens on the card. And then we're going to use this ribbon is new. It's from the Pear Perfection suite that's coming out, I think in just a couple days. If you're a demonstrator, you're able to pre-order it, but I think it comes out in just a couple days. So, and we just use one marker. And we're going to do 4 cards. So here they are. This one, oh, and the DSP, this doesn't come with DSP, so I used, I don't have it over here. It's a scrapbooking DSP. And I think it has 3 different patterns in it. It might have 4. Maybe it has 4 different patterns. But it's like a red buffalo check. It's very like camping style. So we'll do some die cutting. The die cutting is not that hard. It looks, this is one of those cards or this set that looks complicated, but it comes together really easily. So I will die cut your arch for you. And then you'll get scraps of paper to die cut all of this. So it's kind of hard to tell, but the outside white piece is raised with dimensionals, and then the inside seam is down into the card. So really pretty scene card. Okay. So that's one. Here's another. So this one showcases. It shows you what the water dye does. It just impresses it. It die cuts into the paper, but it doesn't cut, so you have to cut your shape. And then we'll cut the trees and 2 different mountains. This is cloud cover and pretty peacock. And we'll do some ink blending. And then this one is fun because it opens like that. Okay. So, and this label will be die cut for you. Okay. Here's the 3rd card. This one is cute. This features the plaid embossing folder, and that doesn't come in the bundle, so that I will emboss that for you. Thanks, Jean. Yeah, I know, the first one's my favorite, I think. The first and the second. So I will do the embossing here, and then you'll stamp a sentiment. And I love this campfire. I think without knowing about the mountain dyes and all of that, I think I would have bought it just for the campfire. Okay, all right, you're amazing. And then here's the fourth card. Again, this one's embossed with that same embossing folder, and I will emboss that for you. And then you'll get some DSP, and this sentiment is from the Right Words, but you can put any sentiment there. Okay, so I don't know if these are manly cards or not. I don't know. I have a hard time making quote unquote manly cards, but you know, I like to add ribbon and pearls and everything. Okay, let's look at what we're using tonight. So tonight we are using Gallery Blooms and Beautiful Motifs, and they each have dies. Okay, and the one set has the dies that have the frames. I didn't use these other dies that are in here. They are really pretty. They die cut into the cardstock, kind of like the water from the Scenic Adventures. They die cut into the cardstock without cutting out of the cardstock, if that makes sense. That sounded very Wisconsin, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, and then it comes with this really pretty, okay, I know I said the turtle embossing folder is my favorite, but this one's a close second. Very, very pretty. Okay, so here's what the card kit looks like. It always has a little ticket in here. It tells you what the class is, okay, and then you always have your embellishments here. So this one has these pressed flower motifs. They're really heavy. So if they fell down here in your card, don't fret, they still work. You get your envelopes in here. You'll have your cardstock for die cutting is here. Your card bases are here. Your quarter pack of DSP is here. And then you always get a little guidebook like this. Whoops. I emailed a PDF out to you before class, so you do have it forever to reference, but I also have a PDF that's printed. So it'll be a supply list and pictures of each card with homework and measurements. Okay, and then they always come in a little bag like this. Okay, and then I didn't mention it, but the ribbon's in there too. So usually you get enough ribbon to do your cards plus a little bit extra. So the DSP for this class is gorgeous. I have some of it here. It is 6 by 6, and it is so pretty. I will just flip through it quickly. It is gorgeous. Scenes, landscape, florals. It reminds me of like wallpaper from like a Victorian house. It's really pretty. I had a hard time picking which paper to use. It's so hard to pick. Okay. Really pretty. So there's that. We already talked about the embellishments. This does have its own ribbon that comes with the suite. It's a basic beige. It's different than the basic beige that came out last year. It's more linen, like a linen material than the ribbon that came out last year. I don't even have one up here to show you. It's just, you'll have to take my word for it. All right, it's easy to tie bows with and sticks with glue dots really great. Okay, we're also gonna color with our colored pencils today. So you're gonna want your blender pens. If you don't have blender pens, you can use like a water paintbrush. Just make sure your paintbrush is not dry, but pretty dry, because we are painting on or coloring on regular cardstock, and so if you have too much water, it will pill. These are my colored pencils. I do not have the new colored pencils. I have the old colored pencils. So you can use new colors if you have them. One thing I recommend when you're coloring with colored pencils is to always start with a sharp pencil. And I have to sneeze. It's coming. Or not. Okay, so I have Early Espresso, Basic Gray, Old Olive, Pumpkin Pie, Calypso Coral, Whisper White, Night of Navy, and Bermuda Bay. So Bermuda Bay is a teal. I think there's a teal color in the new set. And then obviously Whisper White isn't Whisper White anymore, but I still think it comes with a white. So that's what we're using. Your blender pens are double-sided. I try to keep, you know, the green for green and then blue and, you know, like one tip for each color family. I feel like you need 10 tips to do that, but we're gonna make it work with just 6. Okay. All right, what should we do first? Oh, I should mention, if you want this card kit, send me an email and let me know. It is $45, okay? And I'll ship it out this week if you are interested. Or if you're gonna buy July card kits, I'll ship it out with your July card kits. I try to ship once per month, so. Oh, thanks, Joanne. Yeah, I like the booklet. I like to have something printed in front of me and a supply list and pull my stuff out ahead of time. I like it to look nice and be organized and yeah, so. Let's see. What should we do first? So as part of your homework, you were to die cut some things. So I have my things die cut, and you're supposed to die cut a little flower from vellum. I die cut the wrong one from vellum, but I don't think it matters. So I have this little guy, and then this big leaf from vellum. And then from the silver, which is really funny, the silver, when you get it in your kit, it is patterned. It has like a flower pattern in it, but when you die cut with it, it gets squished out in your die cut machine. So the silver just looks like regular flat silver. Okay, so if you want to save it and use the pretty flower silver for something else, you can just die cut out of regular flat silver if you want. And then you'll have a little scrap of this, like, it's not really purple. I don't know what color it is. Metallic. It's not copper. I have no idea. It's a darker metal, so we die cut this out of there. And then the other part of your homework, so that it dried is the main reason, is to take the piece of basic beige and stamp in black these 2 flower images and then die cut them. You can of course stamp and color and then die cut, but for the sake of class, I try to keep the die cutting to a minimum during class. So we did that part first. So we will come back, let's color first, and then we'll come back and maybe we'll cut all of our DSP and kind of lay everything out and put it together. So, oh, and then also part of your homework was to cut out and die and emboss your frames. So when you die cut with the frames, you'll get, from each color, you'll get a large and a small frame, and you emboss the small frame. So the small frame is the ones that have texture. Okay, and if you don't have this embossing folder, you can use any one that you have. And they don't need to be embossed either, so totally up to you. And then these come in your card kit. They're for our sentiments. And we'll go over, we'll maybe separate everything by card next. Okay, that was a lot of talking. We're finally into making a card 23 minutes later. Okay, and Milo's taking a nap. He didn't have a super active day. Just, I mean, somewhat active, but it's pretty hot here, so I think he is warm. Okay, let's color the little flower first. Okay, so what I did is I wanted the little flowers. I'm really bad with flowers, so I don't know what kind of flowers these are. So I'm going to try to keep the flowers white. So because this is on basic beige, we can actually color them white with our white pencil, and they look a little white, not much. But what I'm going to do is, you can be sloppy because the blender pen will blend out any like lines when you're coloring with a colored pencil, because they're watercolor color pencils. So I'm just gonna, I'll show you when I get finished here, but I'm gonna use my white colored pencil and color over all of these little flower leaves. I'm not worrying about coloring over the black line. It's going to be a little artistic. Oops, I just broke my pencil. Pressed too hard. Okay, so I'm going to color over all of those, and it's going to be pretty subtle. Okay, it's not, I don't even know if the camera picks it up. Okay, now we will go on and do our blue leaves. And our blue leaves are going to be Night of Navy and Bermuda Bay. So what I'm going to do, Bermuda Bay is lighter, which maybe someone could look. I don't know what in the new colored pencils, what sort of teal. Is it balmy blue maybe? If you don't have Bermuda Bay, you could use balmy blue. So I'm going to color all of the leaves with Bermuda Bay, and I'm not coloring like hard, just coloring lightly. Trying to mostly stay on the lines. And then I'm going to come add some detail with the Night of Navy. So wherever I think there might be a shadow, which this is really good at sort of showing you where the shadows are. I just broke the tip of that pencil too. So just kind of adding some darker color to each of the leaves. Give it some dimension. If you don't want to use two colors, you could just color darker on one part of the leaf with your same pencil. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take one part of your blender pen that doesn't have any ink on it, and that's what we're going to go over the white flowers with, and all you do is just kind of color once. That's it. Okay, and then we'll get a blue, and we're going to blend these together, and be careful when you're coloring because you can pull the color outside of the lines. So you just kind of go over it, maybe go from light to dark, and blend them together. Okay, now if you don't like the way it looks, you would wait until it dries, color on it again with your colored pencils, and do the blender pen again. Okay, so that's our little white flower. In person, the flowers look a little more white. If you wanted to color them blue or something, you could. Maybe these are lilacs. I have no idea. Maybe they're not white at all. We're going to make them white in my world. So, okay, now we'll color this image. And I don't know that we needed Old Olive. I don't think I used it. I didn't use Old Olive or gray or espresso. I think I was going to, and I never did. Okay, on this next flower, we're going to use, Calypso Coral and a little bit of Pumpkin Pie and the same blues. Okay, so our leaves are going to be the same blue. I am going to add a little bit more Night of Navy to these, so they'll be a little bit darker. All right, I think that's there. Sometimes you'll color the entire image in and then realize you missed a part of it and have to go all the way back. All right, let's see. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit more navy on these. I want these ones to be a little bit darker. And then when you're all done, if you wanted, you could come back with a little bit of white. You don't want to wait till it dried, but you could come back with a little bit of white. Okay, now there's that. So you see how that one has a lot more navy? Now we'll color our flowers. So the centers I'm going to color really lightly with pumpkin. I don't want a lot of pumpkin, and we're actually going to cover it with the Calypso Coral, but it needs to be a slightly different color in there. Okay, so that's my pumpkin in there. And now I'm going to come around with the Calypso Coral, and first with the Calypso Coral, we're just going to color everything in the same like shade. We're not going to do any shading yet. We will momentarily. But let's just get a solid coating of the color onto the flowers first. You could also color these with blends. And I'm coloring right over that pumpkin pie. So we're going to color, it'll have 2 layers of color there. You could color these with blends. I don't think that I am talented enough to color these with blends. These are too delicate and detailed for me. But if you are really good with blends, I'd like to see what they look like. I don't know that I've seen what they look like. Okay, so right now we have just a solid covering of that Calypso coral, and you could leave it just like this. It would be pretty. But what I want to do is I want to add a little bit more dimension to these flowers. And all I'm going to do is color a little bit darker on some of these lines that the artist has already drawn in. So wherever the artist has drawn like little black lines, that's where they intend the shadow to be on the image. So do you have to do this step? Absolutely not. But I want to make it a little bit darker in some areas just to add a little bit of texture. Okay, so I'm just sort of wherever a petal meets another petal, it would have a little shadow. Wherever the artist sort of has those lines. Oops, I broke that one again. I must be coloring really hard today. I'm breaking all my pencils. Okay, down here. This one has a lot of petals. Okay, so there you can see I added some extra lines in. And now we can take our same blue tip for our leaves. Be really careful when you're coloring around your flower. We don't want our flower blue in this instance. It probably would just turn purple, but all right. Okay, and then we need another tip. Which one did I use? This one for our flowers. So I'm not gonna worry that there's orange here. Calypso coral, is that what Calypso coral is an orangey pink anyway. So I'm just gonna go over everything. Now, if you do this too soon, which I'm doing it maybe a little too soon, my ink isn't quite dry yet. It is moving my ink around a little bit. My black ink. I'm going to try to color around it. You want to make sure after you stamp you give your black ink plenty of time to dry. Otherwise it can move around when you're blending, which mine did a little, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more. I gotta wait for it to dry. I'm going to add a little bit more highlight back to that, okay? But there is mostly finished. Okay, let's set these aside. And I am going to leave out my Calypso coral because I want to color a little bit more on that, on those flowers, but you have to wait for it to dry. So let's put these to the side. Let's lay out our card bases maybe and talk about a couple things. So as you can see, each one of these has two different patterns. Now, you may not have this blue flower pattern and you may not have this pattern here. Whatever, I made sure that everyone's card kit had two coordinating DSPs for each card. So if yours do not look exactly like this, that's okay. You'll have slightly different DSP that still goes with the card base and they go together. So you'll have to sort through your DSP and see what you have. So let's see what I have on mine. Let's lay out our card bases. So we'll have 4 card bases and they're all identical, just different colors. Okay, so we have Secret Sea and Crumb Cake and Basic Gray and, oh no, that's Gray Granite, and Calypso Coral, which I always want to call Calypso Coral. What do I want to call it? I want to call it Coastal Cabana or something. So gray granite, secret sea, crumb cake, and calypso coral. Okay, then you're also going to have 4 pieces of basic beige. Okay, and these are quarter sheets. We will have to cut these down. I'm sure they're 4 1/4. Oh, I actually cut them to 4. Okay, so these are your insides. I thought the basic beige looked better than the white. So these are your insides. Instead of white insides, we get basic beige insides. Okay, and then let's lay out where our sentiments go. Oh, I die cut mine twice. Of course I did. I cut mine twice on accident. Okay, so this is from Mixed Labels. It's basic beige, and it goes on your crumb cake card. That's extra. This is also from Mixed Labels. It is basic beige, and it goes on your gray granite card. And then these are from Mixed Labels. These are the little labels, which I think you can layer those labels together too. That would be really pretty. I didn't think about that. Okay, the Secret Sea one goes on your Secret Sea card, and this is Cloud Cover. The Cloud Cover one goes on your Calypso Coral card. Okay, so that's where your sentiment pieces go. Let's do our frames next. Okay, so here we have large Secret Sea frame. Your large Secret Sea frame goes on your crumb cake card base. Your large Cloud Cover frame goes on your gray granite card base. Your small Secret Sea frame that's been embossed goes on your Calypso Coral card base. And then your small Cloud Cover frame that has been embossed goes on your Secret Sea card base. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right, now you're going to have 4 pieces that look like this. Okay, these are for the front of your card, and I know you're probably wondering where do these go? I will show you. Okay, so each one of these, let's see, we have Secret Sea, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, and Cloud Cover. So the Pecan Pie one goes on your crumb cake card base. The Cloud Cover one goes on your Secret Sea card base. The Mossy Meadow one goes on your gray granite card base. And the Secret Sea goes on your, I think it's Calypso Coral then. Yep, Calypso Coral. Okay, so we have our 4 piles going. And Milo's dreaming over there. His feet are going like this. All right, now let's look at our DSP. So remember, you may not have exactly these pieces. So if you need to pause the video or come back after you've figured out which pieces you have and which pieces you'd like to use, feel free, okay? So let's see. I'm gonna do this pattern here. The back is this gray. And that's going to go with this green pattern. The back looks like this. And these 2 are going to go on my gray granite card base. Okay, we're going to cut all of our DSP together, so I'm just going to set these aside in a separate pile. Okay, all right, that's our gray granite card. Now let's do our crumb cake card. So the crumb cake card has this piece, which the opposite is this one, which is really pretty. Oh, it's so hard to use the backs of these sometimes. Okay, and then this one here, which the back of this one is this shape. Okay, so that is our crumb cake card, uses these 2 here. Okay. All right, then let's look at the Secret Sea card. Okay, my Secret Sea, I have one of these. The back is this, which is actually the same pattern for the front. So let me see if I don't have 2 of those. I don't. So I don't have 2 of those. So let me show you on the sample card. Okay, if you have 2 of this flower pattern, you're going to use 2 sheets because you're going to flip it over. You're going to use this side for the front and this side for the back. It's this pretty light blue. I think it's cloud cover. If you don't have two of these, we're gonna use one of these and one of these, okay? So that I don't have two, so I'm gonna use these. I'll show you what that would look like. Okay, and now on the last one, okay, you will either have this pattern here in the back there, you see that pattern? Or you'll have this pattern here, this pink one. Okay, so, oh, or you could use this pink too. You could use whichever pink you want. This is what they look like on the front. You could use whichever pink, and I'm going to use this gray. Okay. I think I like it better with this pink. I'm going to use these two. Okay. All right. I'm going to set these to the side. These are my extras. Let's pile up our card bases, and we'll cut our DSP together. Okay. Then all we have is assembly. Well, we have stamping. So then we'll do our stamping maybe, and our assembly is quick. Okay, now each piece, each card is going to have what I would call your main or your focal DSP, and that's this larger piece on the front here, okay? This larger piece on the front here is repeated on the inside. On the inside, it's the smaller one, okay? So don't get confused and put the larger, the large front with a large inside. If you do, that's perfectly fine. But I wanted to be opposite. So the main or the focal piece of DSP on the front is the smaller DSP on the inside, okay? So what does your main DSP need to be? Let's pull out our main DSP for each card. That is this one for me, and this one, and this one, and this one. So this is my main focal DSP, okay? And this one doesn't really have a pattern. I think maybe that way, or I mean a direction, and these I think I'll go this way. Okay, so I'm gonna cut two at a time. You could just cut one, but I'm gonna cut two. Okay, so they each need to be 5 1/4 tall. One will be 3 wide and one will be 1 wide. Okay, so when you're looking at this here, maybe we do need to cut them one at a time, because you have to decide where you want, what part you want to cut off. You may want to cut off the sky on this one, but maybe on the next one you want to cut off the bottom. So we need to be 5 1/4 tall. So I think there's plenty of sky, so I'm going to cut the sky off. So I'm going to put this at 5 1/4, and I'm going to cut my sky. Okay, so now this is 5 1/4. I need one piece that is 3 inches wide and one piece that is 1 inch wide. So the 1 inch is for the inside, the 3 inches is for the front. You can't see them, so they don't need to be continuous. So I think you need to decide, what do you want to see on your page? Do you want to see trees? Do you want to see in the middle? Do you want to see this side? I think I kind of want to see a little bit of the tree. So it needs to be 3 inches. If I do all of the tree, well, I guess I like that. Okay, so I'm going to flip my paper upside down and cut at 3. So that's going to be what's inside my frame on the front of the card. Okay, and then I need another 1 inch strip, and well, I guess it doesn't matter. I like both sides. Okay, so this is extra right here, and these are the 2 pieces you need for your card. Okay, now let's cut our I'm trying to decide, maybe so I don't confuse you, let's cut all of our focal image DSP first, so we don't change the measurements each time we cut. Okay, this one still needs to be 5 1/4, and I think there's a lot of sky, so let's cut some sky off. So 5 1/4, And we need a 3-inch piece. I think it's about the same. I like this side a little more. I like how that sticks up a little high. So I'll do 3, and then we need a 1-inch piece for the inside. Okay. So these are the 2 pieces we need. Okay, I'm going to set those aside. This is extra. All right. Now we'll go to our blue. 5 1/4. I really don't know that this matters. I think I want to put this piece in my frame. So let's do 5 1/4 this way. And I want to get the heavier florals down on the bottom, in the bottom of my frame. So I'll do that one, and then we need an inch piece for the inside. So this one is extra, and here's what we need. Okay. All right, now last one, this is the same. There is no landscape, I guess. So that's 5 1/4 tall by 3, and then a piece by 1. Okay. So that's main focal image for our last card. All right, now let's move on to our, I guess, our secondary DSP, right? Okay, so the secondary DSP, I'll show you here quickly on a card. They're all 5 1/4 tall. The one on the front, it's on this card, it's this piece here. The one on the front is 1 1/4 inches wide, and the one on the inside is 2 inches wide. So 5 1/4 tall, 1 1/4 and 2. So this one is sort of directional. It has like plaster pattern. So just decide which way you kind of want your plaster. I don't know that it really matters. So 5 1/4, and then 1 1/4, and then 2. This is extra. Okay, so I'm gonna, let's see, this one goes with this one here. So I'm gonna put these 4 pieces of DSP, they're all ready to go. I'm gonna set them off to the side. All right, now I have this one, also non-directional. This one can be cut at 5 1/4, and then we need 2 and 1 1/4. Okay, that's here. Now that one goes on, oh, that one goes on this card here. Okay, I'm gonna set that to the side. All right, this one is directional. So we want to cut 5 1/4, so we want to cut some off the bottom or the top. And that will be 2 and then 1 1/4. 2 and 1 1/4. All right, and that goes with my blue. Now on this one you might have a the light blue instead if you have 2 pieces. Okay, otherwise it's going to be these 2. And then this last one is gray, and I'm going to have this be the bottom, but I think I'm going to cut off some of the dark. So I'm going to do 5 1/4, and then, whoops, 2 and 1 1/4. And that's going to go with this pattern for me. Otherwise for you, it may go with this pattern. Okay. All right, this is all extra. Okay. Let's see which card was on the top of my pile. Okay, I have my crumb cake card on top, so let's start with that one. Crumb cake card has this DSP. Okay. All right, right? So we need these pieces of DSP, and it has this piece and this piece we need to stamp on, and from our homework we need to pull our vellum, our large vellum flower thing. That's not flour. I don't know what that is. Wheat? No, that's not wheat. I don't know what it is. A plant. It's a plant. Okay? So first things first, let's burnish our folds. Where's my bone folder? It's here somewhere. So burnish your folds. So we're going to fold this one in half. Okay? And something that is slightly different is this is going to get folded in. Okay, so we're going to fold the card like this, and then this one gets folded in. Okay, and then burnish that. Okay, so it's going to be like that. That's how it's going to go, like this and like this. Okay, so what we do is, this is our inside. We could do our stamping first. So all the cards go together the same way. They just say something slightly different. Okay, so this one says, "You've been on my mind" in early espresso on the inside. I'm going to stamp it here. And then on the front it says, "Thank you for everything" in Secret C. Oh, did I tell you the 3 colors we need? I did not. Secret C, Mossy Meadow, Early Espresso, and then you will need your black for the flowers that we already stamped. Okay, so let me see, where did my stamps go? And all the sentiments come from here. So we have "Thank you for everything," "You've been on my mind." The other stamp set only has floral images. It doesn't have any sentiments. So "I'm here for you always" in Early Espresso. And that's going to go bottom right here. Okay, and then Secret C on our sentiment, "Thank you for everything," right in the center. And you can most definitely use a stamp positioner if you want. I don't think I got that straight. That's not bad. Not as straight as I would like, but okay. All right. I'm trying to decide what we should do next. I think we should maybe do our DSP so that we can get it down right. Okay, so this strip is going to go on the inside. It's going to go right here along the left. Where's my glue? Alright, I can't find my regular glue, so use this one for now. Okay, so this is going to go on the, I might have said right, but I meant left. Okay, it's going to fit right up to the edge of your basic beige piece there. And then that can go on the inside of the card. I'm here for you always. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think if we should add our front piece next. I don't think so. I think we're going to add, I think we're going to glue the front down first. Okay, let's glue our flap down first. I can't remember which order I did this in. Okay, let's glue our flap down. So this is our flap. I need bigger glue. That's a fine tip glue. Hold on, I gotta find glue. Oh, here's one. It's not open. There we go. Okay, so we glue this down. glue our flap down. We're going to glue our flap closed. This little flap is going to come to the inside and close. Okay. Come to the inside and close. Okay. And now I think we can put our DSP on the front. Okay. Let's take our front piece of DSP, which is this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of pecan pie and glue it on the back on the right hand side. Okay, so it's going to go right here like this. Okay, it's going to be glued on the back of the DSP on the right hand side. And once we do the first card, the next will go together quickly. The first one, because this card layout is unique, the first one is takes the longest. Okay, so this is going on the back right side only. Okay, so that's on the right, It's on the back on the right only. And it fits perfectly behind your DSP here, and it doesn't cover all the way. That's correct. It's not supposed to cover all the way. Where it's going to go is right here. It's going to butt up against this. Okay. All right. So then what we'll do is we'll take this small piece for our front. So this is going to be for the front. And we're going to line it up along the top, the bottom, and the left. We're not going to worry about the right. There's going to be some extra space, and that's okay. So this one's going to get lined up along the left, the top, and the bottom. Okay. Okay. Now we can add this one. When we add this one, it's going to go right here, and it's going to line up on the top and the bottom with that DSP, and it's going to line up on the right at the edge of the card. Okay, so you see how it's going to line up right at the edge of the card. So when we glue this down, we only want glue right here. This is the only place we're going to put glue. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. Now, I would recommend liquid glue so you have some wiggle room with this. Okay, we're going to line this up top and bottom with that DSP, and we're going to slide it to the right until it hits the edge of our card. Okay, I'm going to go like this to get it all the way down. Okay, all right, so now it's lined up over here. So this is what we have so far. See how we don't need pecan pie, we don't need the full pecan pie back here because it's covered. If you could do a full piece, it just would add some more bulk to the card. All right, now we are going to add this piece here, but before we do, we're going to put some ribbon behind it. So we're going to make a tear and tape sandwich with our ribbon. So I'm going to put some tear and tape here and some tear and tape here. We'll pull the backers off, and we're going to push some ribbon. We're going to wrap some ribbon around it and secure it with more tape. So I have some remnants of ribbon here. So we're going to put it into the tear and tape here, right over that seam. Okay, we're going to bring it around the front. And what I like to do is trim my ribbon when it's right here. You really don't need much past the card, just a little bit. Okay, and we're going to push it into the tear and tape on the back and make a tear and tape sandwich. Okay, we'll pull these backers off. And we can glue this piece of DSP down. And that's going to go just like this, centered over that ribbon. Okay. All right, so there's the basic, or the base, I guess, of the card. So they all go together just like this. What's on top now will vary as your focal image, but they all go together just like this. Okay, so this one will take the longest, the next will go much quicker. Okay, now this one in particular has this frame on it, this large frame. Hi, Carolyn. Long time no see. I met Carolyn. Carolyn came here for summer stamp camp last year. I miss you, Carolyn. I haven't planned anything in person this year. To be honest, it was a lot of work. And my kids have crazy schedules, and not only do they have crazy schedules, their schedules change. Nothing is predictable. So I think I will do something virtually. I just don't know what. I don't know if it'll be summer. I don't know if it'll be fall. I don't know if it'll be Christmas cards. I'm sort of leaning towards, I don't know what I'm leaning towards. Okay, this is gonna line up right on the front, the top, the side, and the bottom. Okay, the right side. So you're gonna kind of take your time and line it up. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, isn't that cute? Okay, then we need to tuck our little whatever this is, right? We couldn't decide what it is. If Christina were here, she'd call it a thingy. We're gonna tuck this flower thingy in here. Now, the thing with vellum is when you have glue behind vellum, you can see it. So what I'm gonna do is roll up some glue dots and kind of stick them strategically behind this thing. Okay, so this one's pretty easy. Down at the bottom, it's gonna be covered. So I'm gonna kind of stick it in here like this. But now I need to take a couple more glue dots. I hope everything is good with you, Carolyn. All right, I'll push one down there, and I think I'll add one up there. I'm fine with them being flowy and free. If you don't want it to be flowy and free, then add more glue dots, but I'm fine with flowy and free. Okay. All right, then lastly, not lastly, our sentiment, which this is already popped up, so we need to pop it up right here. And the rest can have glue. And then I think we'll do all of our embellishments at the end. So this is gonna kind of sit like this. Of course, I don't have any glue right there. I gotta put a magnet on it. It doesn't want to stay. Okay. Then we can tie a bow, or you can leave a bow off if you don't want a bow. I'm gonna do a little baby bow. But if you don't want all that dimension through the mail, it was a lot of fun, but understand that it was a lot of work. Yes. How is Milo? Oh yes, that is Milo. He's great. He's sleeping over here. He still makes a cameo. Oh yes, that's right. You got to meet him in person. Yes, it's just busy. Summer is busy. And as the kids get older, I thought I would have maybe a little bit more time, and I feel like it's not. I feel like it's just crazy. Go all the time, and yeah. So, and they don't ever want to go to bed. They want to stay up until, I don't know. They just don't ever want to go to bed. Okay, this is a little baby bow, and I think it's so stinking cute. Okay, I'm going to put it right there. Okay, isn't it cute? I love it. This is, I know I usually save my favorite for last, but I think this is my favorite. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to do a couple more bows. I did a bow on every card, so I'm going to tie 3 more bows here. And just set them aside since I have the bow maker out. I like to do things assembly line style. I know not everyone else does, but that's how I like to do things. I like this linen ribbon. It kind of like frays at the end, and it's cute. It gives it like a vintagey vibe. And I'm doing really baby bows. You don't have to do baby bows, but I'm trying not to take away too much from the DSP, because I think the DSP speaks for itself on this card, on all of these cards. That didn't cut very well. Yeah, my children, they just think they have no bedtime. And also the food that they go through in the summer, oh my goodness. It's a lot. And they never want to eat what I cook. Today they like today's dinner, I air fried pot stickers, which I'm relatively new to air frying, so I don't exactly know what I'm doing. But they all were a fan of those, so I thought they weren't going to eat any. I actually made pot stickers for myself, and I made them chicken nuggets in the air fryer, but they didn't want the chicken nuggets, they wanted the pot stickers, so they ate the pot stickers. I had a couple. They were really good. All right, let's move on to the next card. Oh, and you know what? Let's add our Calypso Coral again. I'm not even gonna blend it out. I'm just gonna add some darker spots with my pencil here, my Calypso Coral pencil, and I'm not even gonna blend it. I think it looks pretty, like this. Okay, out some here. I'm just randomly picking some spots where like the leaves meet each other. Okay. I just randomly pick some spots, so there's some dimension. Yeah, maybe I'll have an in-person, you know, I don't really like to have in-person things in the winter because I don't like to drive in the snow. So I don't expect other people to drive in the snow either. Like whenever I go to Christine's, I always say, okay, I'm coming, but only if it doesn't snow. And it hasn't snowed, knock on wood. It hasn't snowed yet in all of the times I've been down there, which is quite a few now. Okay, now remember we're folding, I'm going to move on to the Calypso Coral card since we just did this. Remember, this gets folded in. It gets folded the opposite of what I would intuitively think. All right. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit less of the steps now that we are a little bit versed on how this works. But we need our Secret C. Oh, and I used a different sentiment. I used To the Happy Couple, which is, it's currently, whoops, I'm making a mess. It's on the last chance list right now. And it's from Classic Wedding. So I meant to make a card or have a class with this, and it just never came to fruition. I'm always really ambitious, and then, yeah, I'm always really ambitious. Okay, so this is To the Happy Couple, and I use this on another card too. Okay, so To the Happy Couple, and then from the stamp set we use for class, Wishing You Love and Happiness That Lasts a Lifetime. So a wedding card. Okay, To the Happy Couple. Okay, I should have got my stamps ready ahead of time, but I was too busy trying to do notes and totes, which is another one of those sets I didn't really like at first. Don't be mad at me. But it grew on me, and now I really like it. Okay, so this is Secret C. Oh, that is really inky. That is too inky. All right. When you have a new ink pad, they are very juicy, and then also I was aggressive. To the Happy Couple. I was telling you something, but I lost my train of thought. And on the inside, that's Wishing You Love and Happiness That Lasts a Lifetime. Also Secret C. I was telling you something, and now I can't remember what I was telling you. So I stamped everything on the bottom right. If you don't like that, you can stamp in the center, but make sure to put your DSP down first. Otherwise, it won't be in the center once you glue your DSP down. Okay. Okay, so we can add our DSP. So that card uses this, or if you have this pattern, we'd use this pattern. Okay. So on the inside, we get this piece, or your bluish pinkish flower one. That's the inside. And then I don't think that has a direction. Not really anyway. And then that can get glued down. Right here. Okay, and we can glue our flap closed. Whoops. And we can glue our gray piece on the front. So much gluing going on. Gluing goodness. Gluing goodness. Whoops, that is so not straight. Okay, now this one has a piece of Secret C, and again it's going to go on the back right side of your focal DSP. So I'm going to put glue on this, and back right side. Okay, and if you have any hanging out, you can trim it off. I have a little bit hanging out. I'm going to use a long pair of scissors and just trim that off a little. Okay. All right, that can go here. Put our glue right here. Line up top and bottom of this DSP and the edge of the card. Okay, you definitely want liquid glue. I think I mentioned that before. Okay. Uno. Okay, now we can, I don't know why I said uno. This is dos, card number 2. So it was really funny. Oh, we're gonna make our tear and tape sandwich. For dinner, I did make pot stickers, but I told the kids what they were because they've never had them before. And they thought I said hot stickers, which I did say they are hot. So I think that's where the hot stickers came into. And so then they just kept calling them hot stickers all through dinner. Oh, these hot stickers are so good. And where'd you get these hot stickers? And how did you make these hot stickers? And now I think they are just forever going to be referred to as hot stickers in this house. Because I thought that was just so cute. So the hot stickers were good. They were just frozen hot stickers. All right, there's our tear and tape sandwich. And then we can add our final piece of DSP on this one. Okay. Oh, and I want the darker side down, or the darker image. Whoops. Down at the bottom. The darker shading is what I'm trying to say. Okay. All right, base of card number 2, same as card number 1, just different color, different DSP. So you can do this with any set. You have so many options. You can use so many different stamp sets with this. It would be cute with the turtles. So much it would be cute with. You could maybe use black dimensionals. I have them, but I can't reach them from where I'm sitting, and I don't want to get up. I'm feeling lazy, so I'm just going to use white ones. But all right, you guys, I have to say I am pretty excited about the turtle cards. I know there's been a lot of poo-hooing about the turtles, but I think they're pretty cute. Now, I don't know if there's a direction for these embossed things, but okay, this is just going to go centered here. centered-ish. Okay, this is gonna get added. Kind of tuck it like that. I'm gonna trim off the bottom of my flower. Okay, and then I'm gonna add dimensionals behind the flowers. 1, 2. I like a lot of dimension. If you don't like so much dimension, you can leave it off. But I don't mind paying a little bit extra postage for dimension. Okay. And then our little sentiment, which we need a dimensional right there. And then glue on the rest of this sentiment. Oh, and this gets our little, I'll show you. Gets our little flower here. You gotta tuck this in quick. Again, I don't know what color this is. What color metallic that is. It's almost purple. See that? It's almost purple. It's not, but it's very close. And this one's gonna get a baby bow also, and glue dots. Here they are. This one's gonna get a baby bow. This one I'm gonna do the bow over here. Where should I do it? Here? Here. Right there. Okay, card number 2. So see how it looks nice even if you don't have the same pattern DSP? Oh, look at how much bigger I made that bow. I'm in a little bow mood today. Okay. All right, that was card 2. Okay, and we'll set it aside. We'll put it with our other card and we'll do our embellishments next. I mean, when we're all done is what I mean by next. Okay, let's do our Secret C card. And that is this little Secret C sentiment. I used another sentiment from Classic Wedding. I did On Your Wedding Day. On Your Wedding Day. And what did I do on the inside? Oh, I did the Wishing You Love and Happiness again, which is already on a block somewhere. And we don't even have to clean it. Isn't that nice? We already did Secret C. So this is lighter, not lighter. It's very dark actually. It's subtle is what I'm attempting to say, because we're doing tone on tone stamping. We're stamping with Secret C onto Secret C cardstock, so it's more subtle. But I like it. If you don't like this, you could heat emboss with like black maybe. I wouldn't do white because nothing else is really, well, there are white flowers, so you could heat emboss with white. That would be pretty. Or you could do a sentiment that isn't a sentiment strip in a different color, and use your Secret C. Lots of options, but I love Secret C. My 2 favorite ink colors are Secret C, and I want to say Strawberry Slush because I'm a pink girl, but I am really liking Cloud Cover, like a lot. It's not blue, it's gray, but it's a blue-gray, and I really like it. I really am liking it. Okay, so my 2 pieces for this card are this flower, which will go here. I'm sure this has a direction, but you can't tell because it's only 1 inch, so it doesn't really matter. This is going to go down on our card on the back. Okay, and while we are back here, let's close this flap. And we'll glue our little, yours will either be blue or these flowers. We'll glue this one to the front. And it does have a direction if you have the flowers, so just pay attention to your directions. Pay attention to your directions. Pay attention to the direction of the DSP. Okay, this one has cloud cover that will go on the back right back right hand side. So this is the bottom and that would be the back right. Gotta trim that off, it's a little long. Okay. Yes, it's such a pretty color, isn't it, Carolyn? I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. And I think the issue with the ink pad isn't something that's an issue right away, I think is what's going on, but my ink pad is fine right now anyway. I don't have any issues with it. I think the problem is it might have issues in the future is why they didn't release it. Speaking of which, I think I have I have 2 more ink pads. If someone needs a cloud cover ink pad, I have 2 more. I just sell them for whatever the going rate is for an ink pad. So if you are in need of like a full size cloud cover ink pad, they're unopened. So I have two for sale. I can't think off the top of my head what an ink pad is. Maybe it's $9. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that, but the cloud cover and Secret C work so well together. They really do. They really do. Yeah, cloud cover doesn't work as well with, I think, any of the other colors. Like, I don't think any of the other colors work together. Although I bet Darling Duckling and Timid Tiger look pretty good together. I did my in-color class, but I stuck to each color. Like the Secret C cards were all Secret C, and the strawberry cards were all strawberry, etc. So I have like little scriblets of ribbon. You'll have bigger pieces. I always give myself the leftovers and save the good ones for card kits. But okay, come on now. Oh, and we need glue. I love this pattern of DSP. Sometimes it's so hard. There's too many good patterns. It's too hard to decide what to do. Oh, I just put that on upside down. You think I can peel it off? No. I'm not going to peel it off. I put it on upside down. Okay, it's fine. They're like growing down from the vine. Whoops. No one else will care, right? Just me. Alrighty, that's what I get for not paying attention and chit-chatting. Alright, let's put this frame on. You could use foam strips here instead of dimensionals. I'm running low on my foam strips. I should have bought more. I feel like I need to wait to order things until I have like a $80 order. Otherwise, you pay $7.99 shipping no matter what your order is. So I try to get to an $80 order before, like I don't want to have to pay $8 shipping on a $10 order, right? I want to order more if I'm gonna do that. Okay, this one needs this little guy that we colored and this little guy. Okay. So this one's going to kind of come up here. I think I'm going to trim the bottom off right about there. Okay, and now this one is tricky because it's fine detailed. Oops. And if you're not careful with the glue, it gets absolutely everywhere. So I am trying my best to do that was not teeny, to do little bits of glue. You could like squirt some glue onto a silicone mat and then like dip this in the glue, but that sounds like a lot of work. I'm just gonna stick it in like this. Okay. That is stuck. This is gonna go right here, and we're gonna cover the bottom like this. So I'm gonna put a dimensional right about there, and I think the rest will get glue. I don't even know how much glue this needs. Probably not a lot. Okay. And then this will need a dimensional right there and glue on the rest. So it looks like some glue, oh, that's the wrong side, glue here, glue on the bottom. I like a new glue bottle, but the glue really likes to come out of a new glue bottle. It comes out so fast. So fast. Alright, and then another little baby bow, or a bigger bow if you want. I just am in a little bow mode today. Okay. And this one I did here like this. Alright, card 3. Okay, so upside down, but version 2 and original version. Okay, so if you have the blue pattern, that's what yours looks like, or if you use this floral. All right, let's do the last one and then we'll embellish. My favorite part. Okay, where is that sample card? Here it is. Okay, that's our gray granite and cloud cover again, and mossy meadow. This DSP has so many pretty landscapes. I don't know how to pick. I had a hard time picking. So if you wanted to use a different pattern, you could. Thinking of You is in Beautiful Motifs. Thinking of You. And what did I put on the inside? I'm Here for You Always. That's already out. I guess I'll stick with that. I was trying to decide what kind of card I need. Thinking of You, and that's both in Mossy Meadow, and my Mossy Meadow needs to be re-inked very badly. What did I say? Thinking of You, Thinking of You. Oops, sorry, that's loud. Thinking of You, here it is, and it's dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. I have a towel over here, and my other cards are stuck on the top of it, so. Okay, this will, oh, look it. See, I double cut these for me on accident. All right. I'm gonna get as much ink as I can on here. I should either re-ink or stamp with Misty, but no. See how bad I need to re-ink? Okay, this is a banner, and if you stamp with the mixed label stamps, it does stamp banner lines for you. I think it's perfectly fine without the banner lines, but if you wanted to add them, you certainly could. I'll show you what it does. Yeah, I totally needed to re-ink that. I'll show you what they look like. So it has a stamp. This is the mixed labels. It has a stamp that draws the lines there. So you could, if you have this, you could stamp this on it, or you could, I haven't even used it. You could draw it in. I think it's fine. So, okay, let's see. This one on the inside gets this little piece. This is my favorite part, the gluing. All the gluing. Okay. Glue our inside down. All right. And we're going gonna glue our flap down. And we can glue our mossy meadow little piece to the front. And then that large mossy metal cardstock gets glued to the back back right hand side. Good thing I had liquid glue, huh? Oops, I just dropped my cardstock. I dropped my other DSP on the ground. Oh my goodness. I'm running out of wiggle room. Shoot. I moved this on accident. Gotta get my my DSP I just dropped. There we go. Alright, I ran out of wiggle room because I dropped my cardstock. Or I dropped my DSP. That's alright. Okay, then that can go here. Oh, I really should trim that off. I already glued it down. I should have trimmed it off before I glued it down. There we go. Okay. Crisis averted. For now. For now. Milo's still sleeping. He switched positions, but he's still being a sleepy puppy. Alright, ribbon. Oh, whoops, gotta pull those off. So we are live again. Is it Wednesday, I think? As of right now, anyway. Wednesday. And that is for Class to Go. And it features the Boho Vibes Suite, which is the rainbow, like non-conventional rainbow. Darling Duckling. It actually uses a lot of the ink colors. Darling Duckling and Cloud Cover and Secret Sea. And then I pull in Petal Pink and some Pool Party and I don't remember what other colors, but it's 4 cards, so we have that class to go. I think it's Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. I'm Central here. Here in Wisconsin. It's kind of funny because it's still light outside. At least I think it is. Yeah, I can still see some light coming in. And so it feels so early. Like, it doesn't feel late at all. But it is. Like, I mean, I'm a night person, but for the kids, you know, they don't want to go to bed. They're like, but Mom, it's still light out. Which I will tell you, last night they went to bed at 10. I think they were asleep by 10:30, which I know is late. We're late people. We're late night people, and that includes my 6-year-old. You know, the one who likes to make cards with us, Ro. She, oh, we need our 2 little, whatever these little guys are. They're going to get glued down here. I'm going to put a glue dot on this one. She likes to stay up late. And so she finally fell asleep about 10:30. Well, today I was waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, I finally woke her up. Any guesses what time I woke her up at? Any guesses? Yeah. 11 o'clock. I opened her door at 10:30 and just waited. And then I started being loud. Okay, so these are cute little, I don't even know what they are. Cute little flower thingies. And then where's our sentiment? It's gonna go right there. Yeah, So she slept until about 11. I couldn't believe it. And especially because she went to bed, you know, like 10:30. And then she woke up and she was a little cranky. I was like, what? How are you cranky? You slept. You slept so long. Maybe she was hungry because she slept for so long, right? It was pretty funny. Like, how are you cranky, child? Okay, and then this one needs its bow. You're not allowed to be cranky. If you're hungry, if you're hangry, I can handle that. I get hangry also. But you're not allowed to be cranky after you slept like half the day away. So I'm sure she's not going to want to go to bed tonight. But okay, that's card 4. Should we embellish? Embellish time. Isn't it cute? I love these scenes. The DSP is so pretty. All right, let me get this stuff out of the way quickly, and we'll pull everything back. I have so much garbage, it's not even funny. Get it all out of the way. And let's pull everything back. All right, I don't know. Should I look at where I originally put the the embellishments? I guess I could. Okay, all right, so these are large and small. I think there's just 2 sizes. So I would add odd numbers. They are heavy, so keep that in mind maybe when you're putting them on. I like to use 1 large and 2 big. Thanks, Jean. I like to use did I say 1 large and 2 big? I like to use 1 large and 2 small if I'm going to put 3. If I'm going to do 5, then I'll do 2 large and 3 small, and so on. But you do you, so whatever makes you happy. That one, and this one, whoops, and put one up here. Okay, and then this one. Ooh, these ones I put up on top. That's pretty. I put one here. Here, and then I kind of hid one. Thanks, Carolyn. Yeah, you let me know what your favorite is now that all 4 are out. Which one is your favorite? Which one? I think I like this one here, the first one. I think that one's, whoops, that's not where I want you. I think this one's my favorite. Let's do a little one. Let's kind of, right there. Okay, so there they are. Let me know which one's your favorite. I need to get a pin for this. I will try to do notes and totes cards. I don't know if I'll get them done tomorrow, but I'll try to do the notes and totes cards, and then we could do July's showcase already. I'm gonna keep these in here. They're really heavy. Whoops, and I just ripped it, of course. So I'll try to do July's showcase after I get those finished. Hopefully tomorrow or the next day. So yeah. What do you think of the card layout? Is it fun? Unique? Different? Not something you see every day? I had received a card similar to this one that I have had sitting out on my desk for like a year, more like a year and a half, maybe even more than a year and a half, that I've wanted to make, but I've needed the right, you know, you need the right stamps and DSP and all of that sometimes for a certain type of fun fold. So, which I don't even know if you call this a fun fold. I guess it still opens normal, but it's different, right? So anyway, I felt like this suite was perfect for this. So, all right, let me get Milo. He's napping very soundly. Let me get his snacks. His snacks are in here. And, oops, yeah. Making all sorts of noises. Milo Bear. Milo Bear. He's not even waking up. That's funny. I'm gonna have to go get him. Milo Bear, do you want your snacks, puppy? Do you want your snacks? Hi. Do you want some snacks? There you are. Here he is. Hi. Oh, don't mind the vacuum over there. It's charging. Hi. How was your nap, baby? Come here. How was your nap? How was your nap? Oh, good boy. Milo needs his treats. He sure does. Good boy. Oh, what a good boy you are. Oh, yummy, yummy. Hi.
Are you gonna be done?
In a few minutes. Good boy. All right, is that enough snacks for
I
you?
want to feed him one.
Oh, okay. You can feed him one.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Good job.
So cute.
He is so cute, isn't he? Is this a kit with purchase? No, Carolyn. This one's a fee-based one, so it's $45 for this one. Because you get you get the embellishments and the ribbon and whatnot. I have one kit left though. It is $45, so if you are interested, just send me an email, hello@browndogcraftcompany.com, and I will get it mailed out to you. As you can see, it's summer and no one wants to go to bed. So, no, don't, just leave that, okay? I know. So anyway, that's what I have for you tonight. Thanks for spending your Sunday night with me. I hope everyone had a great week. And I will see you in 3 days on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central right here for the Boho Vibes class to go. We'll make 4 cards and they're really cute. And there is a little bit of homework, so if you took that class, you want to look at the homework, just some die cutting of the rainbow pieces, because we do put together a full rainbow, and it'll just go quicker to put the cards together if you have time to do the homework first. So, but of course, if you want to watch first and then put the cards together or do the homework while you're watching, you can do that too. So, all right. You can see other people like paper as much as we do. We're not the only ones that like paper. So, they're good helpers, normally. So anyway. Okay, guys. All right, thanks. It was great to see you all, and I will see you in just a couple days. Milo says bye. He's laying down. So, all right. Have a good start to your week, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Was this supposed to be?